Hello, welcome again to Immigration News and Views. My name is David Nachman and I'm one of the managing attorneys at the NPZ Nachman Fulwani Zimochek Law Group. Thanks very much for joining us today. As many of you know, we have offices located in New Jersey, New York. We also have an office in Indiana, and we also have a presence in Boston, and we will soon to be developing a presence in Chicago, Illinois. As many of you know, if you've been looking at our newsletters which come out by electronic transmission, we want to let everyone know that of course we're coming into H-1B season. H-1B season is it's a very exciting time in our office because everyone is preparing H-1B non-immigrant visa petitions for employers and employees who are looking to try to prepare CAP cases for their April 1st filing date. That's the April 1st deadline. So for those of you who are new to the H-1B season, this may be your first time you're trying an H-1B. Many people will be refiling H-1Bs, trying to get into the H-1B in a second or third cycle. We often say a second or third bite at the apple. So some of you might be in various other types of non-immigrant visa classification. Most of you probably are in optional practical training, or you might be in a STEM extension, STEM period of time, and so you'll be filing your H-1Bs on April 1st. Of course, if you file your H-1B, it's very important for you to know if you file your H-1B on April 1st and you're still in a work authorized status in your OPT, you'll have the opportunity to continue that work authorized status until such time that a disfavorable determination comes down on your H-1B, or you'll be able to hold on to, or what you'll be able to do is to continue work authorization through October 1st if a favorable determination comes down on your H-1B. So there are a couple of things that I'd like to tell you about the H-1B that are very important. Probably the first tip is to try to prepare your documents and information as early as possible. The last thing that you want to be doing is trying to prepare H-1B documentation at the last minute. The problem with that is, unfortunately, you end up in a situation where it may be very difficult to try to prepare an H-1B for you at the midnight hour. We do have individuals who have come to us in the past at the very end of March, and it's very difficult for us to prepare the H-1B because one of the precursor documents to the H-1B, as many of you are aware, is what's called a labor condition application. The labor condition application needs about 7 days in order for it to clear through the U.S. Department of Labor. And obviously if the LCA, the labor condition application, is not approved, we're unable to file the H-1B. So it's very, very important that we leave enough time to be able to file that LCA in order to have an approved LCA on or about the end of March in order to be able to file your H-1B petition. So employers, H-1B employers, and H-1B prospective employees should be mindful of this timeline and should obviously act accordingly. So there are several pieces of information which we need to garner in order to be able to file the H-1B, the LCA, the labor condition application. One, of course, is information about the employer. So it's important for us to get information about their federal tax identification number. It's also important for us to get information about the federally mandated prevailing wage for the position being offered. And it's also important for us to be able to localize or figure out what the various job sites are going to be for the individual, because those have to be added to the labor condition application. So again, without belaboring the point, it's very important, of course, for both the employers, the H-1B employers, and the prospective H-1B employees to start to think as early as possible about putting these petitions together. Thank you very much for being with me on this particular segment. On the next segment about H-1Bs, we'll talk about credentials evaluations and who can apply for an H-1B. Thanks very much for being with me today. Bye for now.